Hello, welcome back to my next video on Vedic astrology. In this video, I'm going to give you a one-word description for each of the houses. By now, you all know that each house means several things. But is there a one-word description for each of these houses, knowing which you and I will be able to derive all the other significations of that house? It's something like a keyword. So there is something common to all the matters pertaining to one house, and that is what we are going to see. The first house, the beginning, it covers all that which is referred as I or me. So who are you? You'll say that it's I, or you tell your name. So the first house is your name, fame, status, and everything associated with your physical body, the mind, body, and soul. So the easy way to remember this is by all that which pertains to the I or me. Now, after having got your body, the next thing that the mind does is, okay, I'm here, then the next thing is I want everything to be mine. I want to possess everything so the second house, what follows immediately the first house, is mine, my property, my house, my family, my food, something that you would never want to give away that easily. You want everything for yourself. You're very possessive about this. So this is the mine, the house of mine. The third house is the house of help, from which you can derive servants, your hands, your brothers and sisters, all that you will look forward to whenever you are in trouble or you need that kind of help. So you are troubled by what's happening in this world, and you seek out a spiritual guru. So the third house is the house of awakening. The third house is activity. Activity helps you. The third house is the house of effort. The third house is house of desire. Desire helps you to achieve many things. For example, if I have to get up from here, I will have to use my hands and then get up. If my hands are tied, it's very difficult. You also say that give me a hand, give me a helping hand. Here's my hand, So basically, it's the house of the hand. The fourth house is the house of comforts. Anything that adds to our comfort in life. After working long hours, you always want to get back home and say, thank God I'm back home. So this is the comfort zone. You don't want to leave your comfort zone. Wherever you go, that's all right, but you will have to come back home. And this is your mother, because this mother was your first home where you stayed for 10 months. The fourth house is also the house of vehicles. So this adds to your this adds to your comfort in life. So you're walking on this road and you wish you have a vehicle to get in and then just move off. You don't have to walk all this distance. Anything that adds to your comfort, air conditioner, fan, or whichever would let you to sleep, whichever will allow you to sleep well. The next house is the fifth house. The fifth house is creation, what you create, whatever you create. And the most important thing in this world that we create is obviously children, and that's how the 7 billion population came about on earth. So the fifth house is definitely the house of children. But more than that, the fifth house is your poetry, your cinema, your story, imagination, speculation, anything that you create. So the creation happens in your mind, and love affair, romance, everything. It's just about creation, creativity. And by this, you actually create. So mantras are related to the fifth house. Chanting is related to the fifth house. Telling something over and over again and making it happen is the fifth house. The fifth house is the house of reward and awards, promotion. So you create your promotion because you have worked a lot. You actually created that opportunity. So anything that you create is your fifth house. Addictions. Yes, yes, definitely it is your fifth. It's a fifth house matter because you created this habit. And the sixth house is the house of enemies. In one word, enemies. Enemy to the body, disease. Enemy to your financial welfare, debts, loans, and enemies in general. Anybody who opposes your growth at home or in your workplace or in competition, someone who doesn't let you win that quite easily. And this is the house of enemies. The seventh house, partner. It can be partnership, it can be your spouse, wife, or husband, but it can also be your life partner. It can be your it can be a business partner. It can be your customer. So the partner is someone with whom you play this game, but is usually on the opposite side, not always on your side. In squash, he's always on your side, but in tennis, he's always on the other side. So either he's with you on your side or he's on the opposite side. But still, it's a friendly match because both of you want to play this game, and playing this game requires that both of you are in the opposite uh, places. So if you are a man, then you get married to a woman. So this is the seventh house. The seventh house is partner, the other person in your life. The eighth house is sudden, anything that happens suddenly. You know that people always tell he was living so long and then suddenly he died. So it's obvious that death is sudden, and therefore the eighth house deals with sudden death, violent endings. It also denotes, it's also related to wills, insurance, something that you get because someone else has passed away, and all that money suddenly landed on in your account. So this is like a lottery. So accidents also happen all of a sudden. So that's the reason why the eighth house is mostly challenging. But a few things are good. For example, lottery, wills in your favor. Somebody has bequeathed you a property. All this is the favorable side of the eighth house. The ninth house is guidance. The ninth house, your first guide in your life is your father, and the ninth house relates to father from this point of view. Of course, there are people who argue that the 10th house is the house of father because it happens to be the seventh from the fourth. But in reality, the ninth house is the house of father because ninth house is you follow his religion, you follow your father's religion because ninth house is house of religion, and ninth house is dharma. Whatever you know of dharma, which is the right way of life or the way of life, all that you always know only from your father. Your father tells you what you have to do. Your gurus tell you what you have to do. The God of your religion tells you what you should do. This is your ninth house. So it's basically guide. Anyone who guides you on the road is a ninth house matter. A lawyer, an astrologer, a doctor who guides you. Everything comes under the ninth house. That which finally guides you before you reach your profession is also the ninth house because this is the last thing that you study, and then you're off to work. So the ninth house is the higher education. It also deals with travels because while traveling you learn a lot. Travel teaches you a lot. The ninth house is a learning place. The 10th house is karma. Simple. The word karma has become very popular in the world. It's used by almost everyone in the world now. So the 10th house is your purpose in life. So livelihood, whatever business you do, whatever you are inclined to do all the time, whatever is always on the top of your mind. The reason is that the 10th house is above your head. If you look straight up in the sky when you're born, whatever is in straight up above the head is the 10th house. So whatever you have in your head all the time. So suppose you're a doctor, you always have medicine on the top of your head. If you're a preacher, then you have your religion on the top of your head. If you are a sportsman, you have sports on the top of your head. So this is basically the zenith. And this is karma, the most important house in your horoscope, at least from the point of view of horoscope. And the 11th house, one word, gain, labha, profit, friends, because from friends you gain a lot. 11th house is fulfillment of desires. So, a world without friends, you know how it's going to be. So, if you are in solitude, which happens with people who have renounced the world, they don't have friends, they're alone, and you find that they're always poor unless the renounced person decides to start an ashram. But otherwise, zero friends, not that much of gain in your life. 5,000 friends, 10,000 friends, you surely will be earning quite a lot. Fan following comes from this 11th house. So many people have made you their friend. So the 11th house is labha. And what follows labha? Gain. You can't go on winning in this life. So the next house is the 12th house, and the 12th house is the house of loss. Now, loss actually means going away. Something goes away from you. This is loss. You had this money and this money went away from you. You went away to a foreign land. You went into hospital. You lost your home. And sometimes it can also be indicate terminal illness. You lost all your health once and for all. So the 12th house is definitely the house of loss. It also relates to pilgrimage because you lose your home and you go off to another place in search of God. So the 12th house is also the house of salvation because you lost the chain of life and death on earth. You're not going to be born again, and therefore this is also the house of salvation. We have come to the end of this video. In case you have any doubts, please type them out in the comment section, and whenever I find the time, I'll answer them for you. And see you soon in my next video.